following message is being transmitted at the request of the Boundless PodTrap movie review and the guys of the BPT. What you are about to hear contains spoilers to movies. If you don't want to hear these spoilers, please disengage your listening device at this time. If you can't handle those with a possible differing view on a movie, you may also want to disengage your listening device at this time. Stay tuned for a movie review that only the guys at the Boundless PodTrap can give you.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
So the gas station that she goes to that has the wind chime,
It's not a Rob Zombie thing.
those are raccoon balls, like raccoon penis bones.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's how we're starting things off.
Yep.
I thought we were
The
gonna Rob
only
Zombie.
input I have on this movie. You guys take it away.
All right. Love me some raccoon penis.
What up, guys? We are the Boundless PodTrap movie review. What episode is this? I forgot to ask that.
36.
I'm glad we're all taking the lead with our lack of information.
36.
Well, he started just like randomly. I wasn't even ready yet. But anyway,
You always got to be ready when the
Gotta be
wild
ready.
card's
Gotta
in the
be
room.
ready.
I'm John Marshall. Shut the fuck up. I'm John Marshall, and I chose this one this week. We'll get into that in just a minute. But I'm joined, as always, by Justin
Hey.
and AJ,
Hi.
and our spooky season substitute, Brian Corey.
Woo!
How we doing, boys?
Brian.
Pretty good.
Brian. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but
Brian.
I feel like I had
Keeps
to rush
happening
this
in the-
movie review from our last one. This was like the quickest I had a. Ooh.
that's true. For those, we'll get into that later. But
He only got to watch
we
this
did another movie
25
review
hours to
for
watch this movie.
For my
podcast that will be collabing with the BPT podcast. More on that later, but tonight we are going to be reviewing 2005's The Skeleton Key, starring Kate Hudson, not Kate Winslet, like I said on the last podcast.
And the big question that went on through this whole entire movie, is Kate Hudson attractive or not?
Yes.
I go with yes.
Yes.
I give her a higher number. Maybe
Well, I
like-
mean,
Now, if you watch her in the new Knives Out, you're like, you're getting old.
even through this movie, sometimes it'd be like,
You're starting to
oh,
look like your
yeah.
mom.
And then other times it's like,
Nope.
eh.
The whole time. This is, I think, one of her hottest movies.
Yeah. Agreed.
When you walk around in booty shorts and
Side boob.
t-shirts and yeah,
Maybe it was her acting that killed it for me.
maybe she's not the best.
Rustling in the bed.
Meow.
This came out in August of 2005. It is a hospice nurse working at a spooky New Orleans plantation home finds herself entangled in a mystery involving the house's dark past. Like I said, it stars Kate Hudson, Peter Sarsgaard, Joy Bryant, John Hurt is also in this. That's the main four characters. The other guys are in this for like 8 seconds, but
Joy is also nice to look at.
yeah, she
Joy
is.
Bryant?
Gina Rollins is the other one. That's who I was trying to think of. She's
Maxine
the old lady.
Barnett.
Yeah, nobody knows who that even is.
Well,
I mean,
Fonlani
Mama
Harris.
Cynthia.
Fonlani Harris.
Okay,
was in
I
there.
mean, we don't have to name the whole fucking thing.
It's gonna be easy.
This was made on an
Marlene
estimated budget of
Ziegler.
$43,000, which in today's that seems like nothing. Like,
Yeah.
like we can make that for $43,000. And it only made 48 in the US, 93 worldwide. So it basically just made its money back.
Marion Zinzer got a piece of that,
God.
and Deneen Tyler. This is just more cast people. Go ahead.
I know he's. So yeah, let's review it. What was that?
Excuse me.
IMDb ad.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, this movie, I guess for the budget, it didn't really require too much. There's not
No.
like big on effects. There's just
Not
like
really.
a lot of prop work and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's about it.
Stuff you can get at like Mangelson's.
On 84th and Center in Omaha, Nebraska.
2 blocks north of the.
Well, not really center, but
Yeah,
it's like
off
south of
84th
center.
Street.
of the
Yeah.
I-80
Next to
exit.
Denny's and Adam and Eve.
Yeah, right next to Adam and Eve. Get your dildos and get your props.
Get your corn dogs and your fleshlights.
And the hobo community underneath the bridge there.
Yeah. And
You can try 'em.
the break into the Dollar General all the time.
Yeah.
Or Dollar Tree. whatever
And
it
if you're
is.
feeling really adventurous, go across the parking lot to Tom Kelly's Bowling Pro Shop.
I thought that closed.
That's right, Dad.
Speaking of, did you know something is in the old bakers in La Vista now?
No.
It's Harbor Freight.
Homeless people.
Holy cow.
It's open now.
I have no idea what
Welcome.
Harbor Freight is.
tool.
It's tool store.
Nice.
Big tool
It's good to have something there.
Yeah, and confirmed with my mother. This has nothing to do with this movie, but Astro Amphitheater, you can hear it from her house.
Oh,
Nice.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No,
I just learned that was on a golf course I like to go to.
yeah, that closed a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't golf much.
Because we can hear the Astro from Mikey's house, we found out.
Nope, it's a lie. You were hearing the high school.
That's debatable.
So anyway,
Is that why Mikey moved there?
You're probably hearing the golf course through the
well,
speakers of the
he
high school.
grew up in that house. He bought his mom's house.
By your mom's
You
house.
didn't get my joke, but that's
I got it, but
Chose
it
to
just
ignore
made,
it.
yeah, it made sense
Moving
'cause
on.
whatever.
So what
Let's
would
play
you
Jenga.
what would you rate this?
Well, you go first,
I don't know, man.
I can go first. I'll
Brian.
Go.
Spooky
I
season
will.
substitute, Brian. Go ahead, go first.
go with
Shout out to Jeremy, by the way. He's working hard.
I forget how we do this flow. Do I talk about it a little or just go right into the score?
God, super fan Brian over here.
Damn it, Brian.
Were we changing that? No, we'll do that next month.
Yeah, no,
we'll
not.
keep it
We don't
simple
have
for right
yeah.
now. Yeah, we'll keep it
Give a little bit of reason why you voted it.
Okay.
However you voted
give
it.
a few quick thoughts of what you thought about the movie.
Okay.
And then rate it.
Fair enough.
And then we'll
So,
get deeper as we go. That's what she said.
As you guys all know, not
right,
big
give
on
me
the
a red
horror
one.
films, but this one was right up my alley. Not too scary, no gore, so that's always good on my list.
Sorry, we're
It's
passing
a little charred though.
That's not gore though. Moved along quick, not too long. Fit under your threshold, AJ.
It was
of
an
what?
hour and 40
Oh
something.
come on!
What is your threshold
I
again?
thought your threshold
90
was-
minutes.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah,
about
but you had like a
45.
10-minute whatever.
Yeah.
You're just picky
Anyways,
as
it moved,
fuck.
it moved fast. There's only a couple cliche things that bothered me, but overall, I really liked it. So I gave it a 8.
And 8.
I put a pause between my A and 8, so it was fine.
Do you want to go? Or you want me?
I'll go. Can I ask Brian a quick question? Was the cliche things you didn't like about this movie the movie?
Oh, this guy. No.
If you didn't see this movie coming when you started this movie, you should watch more horror. This
This is also 18 years old.
was every
True.
2000s horror movie.
And he's not a
No.
horror guy, so
No.
That's true.
True.
This
Not
was
even at all.
every 2000s horror movie.
No.
Yeah.
It was everything after this was this.
Okay. We'll argue about this when it's a movie. It had a lot of good parts. I will give it for what it was in the budget it had. It was fine. Like I said though, I thought I seen this movie when it started, and halfway through I thought I'd seen this movie, but it turns out I've seen every single one of these movies. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. There was nothing about it that really aha'd it for me. And there was nothing super outstanding. It's just, to me, it was just another cash grab 2000s horror movie. To me, it was a 4.5.
Interesting.
Huh. I guess I'll go. I didn't hate this movie. It is a solid movie. I think it has a plot. It has a good like storytelling to it. It doesn't take you off track as more as it probably could, which I was wanting to. It's like when I'm sitting down and analyzing this, I feel like I'm figuring a lot of this stuff out ahead of time, mainly because I do look for certain things that it actually adheres to, or what do you want to say? Lost my words already. Too early.
to?
Yeah, it tries to lead with breadcrumbs to, I guess,
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah. And I feel like I was picking those up along the way. I was like, oh, okay. So I already can not necessarily piece the ending together, but the ending I thought was a pretty cool, because I like movies that don't always end with a happy ending, because I feel like that's more realistic. And then when you get the happy ending, it's like, forgotten. And then on to the next. But even with the ending, I don't think it was that memorable for myself, because yeah, like both of what AJ and what Brian was saying is like, yeah, there are cliche parts in there that I can't stand in movies, and I'll get to that later. And it does kind of resemble a lot of other things that I've seen, and I don't want to contrast it to those other movies. For what the movie was, it was a solid movie. It was filmed relatively well. I'd say better than average. I give it a 7.
Interesting. So this isn't really my type of horror genre or thriller genre, however you want to categorize this. It was kind of my introduction to this type of genre, so that's probably why I like it more than some of these other ones. I didn't see it coming at the time. I saw this when it came out, so I didn't see the, I guess if you want to call it the twist at the end, where basically the people in the house are these people taking over other bodies. We'll get into that in a minute, but I thought Kate Hudson looked hot the whole time. I think Peter Skarsgård played a nice little Southern cliche. There is a lot of cliches in this, but that's what also its charm, I think, in this movie. Sarsgaard. Sarsgaard.
Don't
Look,
give him the K.
Just become a Skarsgård. Then Germany would hate it. But
Not of the famous Skarsgård. No, he's a Sarsgaard.
no. And his name's Marshall in this, so I obviously enjoy it. Like Brian said, not too spooky. Doesn't really have any gore at all. It has some gross things, like things in the jars and stuff, especially when that one broke and it's like, ugh.
Oh, that's got to smell.
Yeah, that's got to smell so bad.
I thought that was a stitch
So
up
bad.
tongue. Was that a tongue?
Hard to say.
It looked
An
like a stitch
intestine,
up
a tongue, or something.
Right.
But anyway, this is probably the lowest movie, though, that I brought to this podcast because I give this an 8.
Which gives us a BPT reading of 7.
Nice. And so that's what, my lowest? First one below 8?
I think you
Thanks,
had
Lonnie.
others.
I mean, it
No, I don't think I
has
went
its
below 8.
merits, but
And I brought this one. It's spooky season for us. It's 4 days before Halloween
You've done
here.
3, 4, 4, 4.5, 5, 6.
What?
Yeah.
My personal movies?
Oh, your personal movies.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's what I meant. Anyway, so Lonnie's more towards the critics on this one. AJ is, critics gave it a 37%, and the viewers were pretty torn between it. It's 58% for the viewers on Rotten Tomatoes. So,
Which that doesn't surprise me that AJ would give that score since you've seen every.
I've
horror
seen
film
almost
under-
all horror
so
movies
you
made, yeah.
basically
We never know
are-
what AJ's going to do.
You're a jaded
He's a
critic
wild
at
card.
this point.
never know what he's going to
and there's
I did pick this one on purpose to see. I feel like our ranges would be very different
Right.
on this movie. And they kind of were.
And there's so much about this movie too that I personally have a lot of knowledge in. I know a lot about voodoo and hoodoo as well. I know a lot about possession. I know a lot about haunted places and locations. So the fact that they brought that in, I thought it was neat. I think there was a lot of inaccuracies in what they were doing as well. Shut up, Brian. So that also kind of took me out of it. Hoodoo is not a white person's thing. So a white person doing hoodoo wouldn't work in the first place.
Sure
So-
would, if you believe in it.
No, it wouldn't
believe
because
in
it's
it.
not
Hey,
yours.
they literally
You
said
gotta
if
believe
you
in
believe it.
Somebody's not believing hard enough.
Yeah.
But that's like saying, what's something that's super Italian?
Like the Maloki?
Do you think I could take and make a Maloki?
Yeah, it's just the evil eye. Yeah.
Come on.
Come on now. I
I
could.
think it's also breeds more into like the Israel style, like
It's the culture of it. Like
It's like you got to
voodoo and hoodoo
collect your
are
clippings,
not
your fingernails,
for
and
Kate
throw them away.
Hudson. Are not for basic bitch white girl.
Well,
Hot.
I mean,
But she's
Hot-
they
friends.
wanted
No-
a black girl.
no
but
going-
That's
They
true.
run
She
away.
did want a black
They
girl.
wanted a black
Yeah.
girl, but they run away.
They run away,
They run
which
away,
is
yeah.
accurate.
Which is because
Or die.
Because black girls are like, I ain't got time for
fuck-
this,
fuck
and then
this
white
shit.
people are like, let's go check it out.
Oh my God! What was that sound? We should go.
Let's split
Let's go
up.
sleep in the bed.
Perfect time.
But yeah, I mean, I
But,
did pick this movie. Like I said, it's Halloween for us, so I wanted to do something a little scary. I wanted something that Brian could enjoy, but also Lonnie would have a lot of opinions on, and something that Justin could deep dive in, even though he's only had a week. But so
He only could watch 41 hours of it.
yeah,
Give or take.
That was
or
between his day
It's
job
limited.
and his fun watching, which he watches.
Catching up on
Yeah.
podcasts and stuff like that. Well, the edits and stuff. I had to rush and stuff.
he did.
I'm not going to apologize for what's been released before then. So before
No, we appreciate literally everything you do.
Yeah. Everything.
even.
But anyway, so let's get into this. What cliches did you not like?
For me, it was the obvious Henry? No, Marshall.
Yeah.
What's his first name? Harry?
Lou or
Luke.
something?
Luke.
Yeah.
Luke.
Anyways, that he was part of it. And then, when Kate Hudson's running away. Not Kate Hudson. Well,
Yeah,
Kate
it
Hudson.
does.
Well,
Caroline.
When Caroline escapes, finds out everything, they're bad, and runs right towards to him instead of police, and you're like, son of a bitch. Yeah, okay. You know he's going to be part of it.
I mean, they gave you so many red herrings, though. It was like,
Oh yeah, once
to the point they gave you so many red herrings, you're like, okay, it's not a red herring anymore.
I
Like,
think
it's
I
a
just went into it
certainty.
naive the first time because I mean this was 18 years ago that I first
Right.
saw it, but watching it this time I'm like, oh, there's an obvious. You know, once you know what's happening, you're like, oh, there it is. You're all marked up. You know,
Right.
all that stuff. I smoke. Get rid of it.
Yeah,
No mirrors. I don't get the mirror thing though. Maybe you can elaborate on that.
So they kind of touched on it a little bit, but it's like a way for spirits to go from place to
It's
place.
pass-throughs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to say that when they saw themselves,
Scrying.
yeah, they saw their actual figures in the mirror, but it doesn't show it. I mean, the only time you see the mirror and somebody else's reflection is at the very end where you see all the bodies going back and forth right before it smacks the shit out of.
Also,
Her.
she kind of just lets the bodies go off. Like, I guess if you told them, hey, we're really young people possessed, like nobody would believe you anyway.
Well,
But
plus it's kind of traumatizing. You're like, ah, la la la, I'm a 31-year-old black man. La la la, oh shit, I'm a 61-year-old white dude. in a
I would
bed.
imagine
That's probably shocking.
they
to you.
grew into that body, and then they keep on taking other bodies until it ages out.
right, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like at the end, it's Luke Marshall and Caroline's souls in that body.
Right.
And they're just like sending them off, and they're not even drugging them anymore. They're like taking him to wherever. But
Right.
I'm guessing, hey, if they said we're really 30-year-olds
Right.
At the
in
very
body,
end,
people would just be like,
Yeah,
okay,
you're
well,
out of your mind.
you're in a different wing in the hospital now.
because
You're in. Put you
after
in
the
I love
lawyer
myself jackets.
after lawyer
But the
soul
joy
dude
chick,
got off of his medication, he was able to say Caroline, well, the Ben character, but who is actually the lawyer. But yeah.
I don't get the mirrors either, because you could see
It's hoodoo.
you could see them.
You
in
wouldn't
the
get
mirrors.
it. You're white. It's not for
So
us to get.
were they afraid that Caroline was going to see their old bodies? in
That's
the
what I'm
mirror?
thinking.
Like,
If they look through the mirror, because she went into and put Ben's
she wasted
up.
a really good
But
flower pot when
she
she saw
didn't-
that
yeah.
first mirror.
She put Ben's mirror up in his bedroom, but she didn't see Ben through the mirror. But when he saw himself, he freaked out. Well, I guess when he saw the other,
You saw the old guy
Yes.
instead of
instead of the lawyer guy.
handsome
Okay.
Sarsgaard.
So it was more they were hiding it for him, probably. So
Maybe.
he wasn't quite catching on, maybe? I don't
Like
know.
Lonnie said, we're white. We shouldn't understand.
we don't get hoodoo. We're
Right.
not allowed to get hoodoo.
I didn't even know hoodoo was a real thing until AJ over here.
Yeah. And the discrepancies with hoodoo itself is how they explain it. It's like,
This is Gina Rollins' second favorite. My second favorite role she's done. The old lady. Loved her in The Notebook.
so she meets up with the Jill the Thrill.
That's a great fucking movie.
I
I'll
And-
fight anyone.
She talks about hoodoo and how different it is from voodoo. So voodoo is a religion and hoodoo is magic. No God involved. Yet the record that they seem to play is talking about, Lord, give me whatever,
Walk me out of blindness, lift me. Out of sadness, save me. From my damnness, please, Lord. Anytime, Lord, take me. From the dry dust, break me. Out of these chains, bring me. From the devil's house, take me. Out of dark.
Like,
That music's creepy.
yeah, Lord, take me, release me from the devil's house. So it doesn't, it doesn't make sense. It's like you're adding religion to it, but saying there's no religion to it. You're saying it's only magic.
got it.
But then she runs that up with, the Jill chick. She says, it can't hurt you if you don't believe in it. But she started to believe in it, which I did like that aspect of it.
So let me ask you this.
Started doing things to make her believe.
Towards the beginning of the film, or maybe I'll wait until we get there, but
We'll go to the beginning.
well, it wasn't at the beginning, I guess. She's telling the story about how they lynched the two original black owners of
Right.
the house, right? So do you think they had already switched to the children's bodies
Yeah,
at
they're
that
already in
point?
there.
Okay. Or do you
So-
think, because it was they either had already switched to their bodies or that story was just all made up for Caroline?
Both.
Yeah.
They
could go either way.
did switch, but it was made up to make it seem as like the people were innocent.
Dude,
Because
they
didn't-
lynched and burned the shit out of those people.
Yeah.
I
Out
was
of
like,
their-
good
They
God.
pretty much killed their own kids.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and
It
other
was
bodies.
unreal.
And yeah.
And it's sad that real shit like that actually happened in our history. So.
Yeah.
Still does. More slavery now than any other time in our history.
And it kind of sucks because, this is
That's
what
because we all have jobs.
this is what part of slavery, child labor, all that is cell phones and shit. Getting that cobalt and all that.
Also, there's way more people than there used to be. You can
This is true, too.
You can
That is true
You
as
can
well.
tweak numbers to, there was 10 people back then, and 8 of them were enslaved. Now there's 100 people and 80. You know what I mean? Like, I see what you're saying though.
There was this stupid video I was watching. It was like these
Weird.
3 black dudes who were sitting on a. It's like, what was a common commodity, sold way back in the 1800s? And all 3 black guys like raised their hand. And like, correct.
I did see that. It was like a TikTok or
Yeah.
something I saw, and they were like, "Wait, what?"
Oh,
All right, so
terrible.
the skeleton key. This movie starts off with Caroline Ellis.
Shout out to the Misfit Kings.
I'll continue this. No, Caroline Ellis, played by Kate Hudson. She's reading the Treasure Island to the Talcott dude, the Mr. Talcott, one of her in-hospital patients that, she's doing hospice care. Her job
And
is
they
pretty
just
much
throw shit out.
Yeah. Her job is pretty much just to take care of people until they die. My thing with this is people get very attached to their jobs, when they are in providing care, which, I mean, like, you should, but you should also have like a measure of release too.
Realism too. Like,
It's like, this is going to hurt.
expectation. Yeah.
If you come in here with that sort of approach, it's going to hurt you every single time. You're going to, part of you is going to die or so. It's like, you can't keep doing this. It'll drain you and it'll be traumatic for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that was one cliche I'm glad did not come back, because when she kept the box of that guy's stuff, I was waiting for that one of the items to save her at the end.
Yeah.
She was going to be wearing his necklace or something. And
She kept his
somehow it's-
keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the
that's about it.
keychain. The keychain, and it would save her at the end. I was waiting for it.
I wonder if everything that she brought, like, what was that alarm clock thing? Like, it
That was fancy.
was. I'm
It
like, that
was.
doesn't seem like something that would be in this little,
Very cute.
outside New Orleans.
Very
little-
2005.
Real quick before you get into, we take the leash off you. Where do you think this fits under the writer's kind of work? He's done. I think his best thing he's done is Top Gun Maverick, which he just did.
Mm-hmm.
He's written Tim Burton's Dumbo. He's done A Ghost in a Shell, a lot of bad Transformers movies, Blood and Chocolate, The Ring. He did The
Rings,
Ring.
yeah.
Yes. He wrote The Worst Scream. So I think he's kind of all over the place for me. Like I said, I really, really fucking like the latest Top Gun. I thought that was probably one of his better works. I know I'm giving you guys a second to look up his stuff.
I
here.
would agree with that. I mean, looking at everything he's
I mean,
done,
I feel like this is up
the
on the
latest Top
upper echelon of his work, probably.
He has
Considering, like I said, he did The Worst Scream.
I'm a fan of the Ring series, but more
Yeah.
so the Japanese ones.
Fair.
You know.
He
but
has
the
a,
original Ring was really good that he did.
he has
Yeah.
a
Brothers Grimm is okay.
he has a way of making suspenseful non-gore suspense.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which, I mean, this being
Even Dumbo was kind of suspenseful a little bit.
This being
I
a
enjoyed that one.
PG-13 movie, though, like, you really can't expect that hardcore of gore or, line pushing whatnot,
Right.
just for them to get that PG-13 rating.
I think he does more so for that shock value, not necessarily gore.
Right.
With most of the stuff that he has worked on writing wise is I don't know. Like, I would probably put it below the Ring series. I haven't seen Top
Absolutely.
Gun, but I would assume I would rate that higher than this.
That
And
had
maybe even
that Top Gun is. I mean, I'll fight anybody. It's better than the original. The original didn't have a story. It was like
yeah, it did.
not.
It was a
really.
romance.
Yeah, it was. That was more of the story than the actual like planes and stuff. This one has like an actual plot
It was
in
two
almost
guys-
every area. You've seen it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it has a love story. It has an actual mission for them to do. Like it has subplots with, I thought it was just going to be, oh, my dad died and you were there. I'm mad at you. No, he's mad at him for actual reasons that make sense.
I
So,
might prefer the gay love story than
this one's really good though. I mean, it's in the 90s on both viewers and critics. So I mean, obviously Rotten Tomatoes is not the end all be all
Where's
gauge, but
Tarantino's talking. Top Gun was.
I was just curious because I know we've seen quite a bit, especially the Rings and stuff like that.
I might even.
He
rate
did write
Ghost in the
my
Shell.
favorite Transformers. I like Age of Extinction. That one's a good one, but Ghost in the Shell was interesting. You and I went. You drugged me to that one.
Yeah,
It's very
it was all right.
immersive, colorful.
Yeah,
I like what they do. It's more like
I
this.
just like form-fitting things on Scarlett Johansson.
Same.
Scarlett Johansson.
That's not her.
Again, that is Aaliyah.
You know,
I don't get it.
quick side note, this weekend, a question about Aaliyah came up in a trivia contest, and the only reason I knew it was because of that goddamn poster.
You're welcome, man.
It was a
Did you win?
yeah.
Was it? How did they know she had dandruff?
No, it was a who starred in Queen of the Damned. I was like Scarlett Johansson. I was like, no, wait.
The other one. Her
Twins.
doppelganger.
They might as well be twins.
They don't even. No.
I'm looking at the other horror movies that came out in 2005, and this movie was up against some pretty heavy hitters that year. Like,
Go ahead.
Amityville Horror came out, Hostel came out,
Hide and seek.
Devil's Rejects, The Descent, Wolf Creek, Exorcism of Emily Rose, Constantine, Saw 2 came out that year, The Ring 2 came out. A lot of people hated it.
Fog.
I didn't mind it. The White Noise came out. Feast came out.
Fucking hate that. Is that with Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
I fucking hate that movie.
A movie filmed in Council Bluffs, not too far from here, 2001 Maniacs.
Dark Water.
Dark Water, yeah. Devour.
Not the pirates kind.
There was a ton of like very
Thank you.
divisive horror movies filmed in 2005. So this one kind of had a very specific realm, a very specific spot in that
lineup.
in that line that came out. Yeah. So I don't know. There wasn't a lot of movies that came out that year that like this, that had the similar plot.
Right.
But
This one does remind me a lot of Mike Flanagan's Bly Manor, The Haunting of Bly Manor series.
and we could go through, and from 2006 on, we could name literally hundreds of movies that had this same premise.
We have time.
This was my introduction to movie like this, so that's why I think
horror
I
movies?
hold it not to horror movies, but just like the voodoo possession kind of thing or whatever.
But if you think about it, like 2004, Secret Window came out.
Yeah,
Very similar premise to Secret Window.
sure.
The Forgotten came out. The Village came out. Well,
Never seen
Village
Village.
isn't.
Never
How
seen
the
it.
hell is it a
That's what I'm
similar
saying. Thank you.
premise to Secret Window?
It's a man who goes mad
He
and
gets possessed by his own writing.
That's a stretch.
See, that's what I think too. But if you broaden it that way, then yeah, I guess. But it's not.
anyway.
I liked it. Brian liked it.
I don't have
Justin
any,
was in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was
You
probably more on
didn't
your
even
guys'.
do that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, AJ.
House of Nine, Hellboy.
AJ's the reason I didn't get an 8 on it. Actually, we both picked 8, so I can't get it higher if I don't do an 8 more than an
Come
8
on,
myself.
Frankenfish came out.
That is not even a thing.
Frankenfish?
Stop.
Ginger Snaps 2.
Oh,
Cube Zero.
By the way, we had talked about seeing The Exorcist. That's got a 22% right
It's fucking garbage.
Is it really?
Garbage.
you couldn't
Yeah.
wait. Couldn't wait. For
I
you
couldn't
guys.
wait for you guys.
got a
I said,
59.
fuck you guys.
Well, there's your movie review. Garbage.
Garbage.
Something comes out next week that also comes out on streaming, so I'm not even going to go to the theater, I don't think. I still got to see the Moonflower Child or whatever the fuck that one is.
Flower Moon one.
Yeah.
Just wanted to go. They're supposed to come out earlier this year, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways.
That keeps happening.
So anyways, Caroline Ellis, she is a caretaker, works at a hospital. One of her last patients passes, and then I think it's just like the constant, just dump all his belongings. And she got into caretaking because of her dad, it seems like. She wanted to, her dad passed away and she
Right,
wanted
she
to be there
didn't-
for him, but
Yeah, she thought she had more time. and-
yeah. But was the type of guy who kind of kept it secret and didn't tell her that he was sick. So she went off to do her own thing, and yeah. So yeah, nobody came to claim the Mr. Talcott's belongings, and so she just had to go at it. She opens up the garbage can and she sees all the other boxes and stuff. It's kind of like everybody's life is condensed into this single box that it means nothing. It's just garbage. That's all it is. And she wants more for that. So she quits and she starts doing something more like in-home to be more personable to, I feel like she can probably spread her care if she can focus on just one person at a time and not be under the watch of like, next. Yes.
Exactly.
So she gets on a bus, a rail cart. I'm going to
What?
start this off. Yeah. 963 is the rail cart. Some spiritual significance of the number of 963. such as hints to the mystery of human existence and divine creations. The solfeggio frequencies rate 963 hertz as the most powerful, known as the pure miracle tone. So when you hear that, it's kind of like speaking to it kind of access your pineal gland.
If you average those numbers at 666.
This is true too. I'm pretty sure you can do, if you subtract that from whatever, it's also 666.
Right. Take 3 from 9, give it to 3, 6, 6.
So yeah, no, this movie is lined up as Caroline. She's
I
our
got
main
that.
actress. She's heading down the swamps of the Terrebonne Parish down in the New Orleans.
Nolans.
Thank you. For an in-home hospice care, she reveals her weakness in that she
$1,000
cares
a
too
week?
much.
$1,000 a week.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Good money back
$52,000 a
then.
year. Yeah.
And she
I
doesn't even have to
mean-
clean.
Yeah. She's like, don't
just
worry about the housework.
stays in it.
He won't do it right.
Well,
That's the worst accent,
when
but
she shows up to the house, at first, right away, obviously, super sketchy house. There's no address on the house. Like, the numbers have all fallen off.
yeah. I mean,
And she just walks right in. I'm like, okay, I can get a step into the house and be like, hello, hello.
She's
She
like,
ain't
I'm in
got
the
no
South
feet.
now.
She goes like 3
Through.
rooms in.
She goes all the way through the house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because she finds them in the backyard. But unbelievable. Who does that? Who
Well-
walks into a house and goes all the way through the house?
It's 2005, though.
I would have pocketed 8 things
Only
And
8
did.
and then went to CVS.
callbacks, bitch.
Call
back. They expose her weakness straight on. Like, her weakness is that she cares too much. And so that is going to be the death of her. Or, if you will, nobody actually dies in this movie except for 2 slaves. Nope. 2
kids.
slave bodies. The kids died. But yeah, her friend Jill is concerned about her, wondering if the work is changing her. Kind of also approaching that weakness. It's like, you know, you're getting too attached to these guys. Like, you gotta just let them. She says something that was probably too sensitive or heartless. It's like, your job is to watch people, you know, make sure they die and move on. But yeah, it's like you're only supposed to just make them feel comfortable so they can pass. She quickly ignores all that sort of voice of reason. So from the start, we see a calm dew morning on the private property, the main setting, no trees blowing, but in this empty white chair rocking by itself. A little later, we see the curtains open. We don't see a figure. She invites herself in. So, and everybody's in the backyard, but the curtain opens. So, there was all that knocking and stuff that was upstairs. There are a lot of hints saying, like, you got to respect the house, you know, all this.
She's not from around here. She's not going to understand my house.
So things are moving, shadows are moving across. Like, when you look in the mirrors, you see not shadows in the mirror, but shadows like in the area moving. That didn't make sense to me either when it goes back to
Yeah,
some of
that's
that.
kind of what the whole mirrors thing again. I'm like, well, maybe after they killed the kids, the black people, because then when she had the mirrors out a few times, you saw the black people in the background. So is it that the kids' souls are trapped in the black people's bodies, even in the afterlife, and they're kind of still stuck at the house because it was so traumatic?
Possibility.
I would say so, because even at the very end, you still see the little girl's face in the mirror.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, when she
it's-
takes over her body, she literally throws a mirror at her.
Yeah,
So I think that's how they pass.
which I didn't get that.
That's not like a portal.
Something.
You have to get crashed into a mirror.
I don't know. She got fucked up.
Where's Ben's mirror? Where's Luke's mirror?
It's hard to say.
Huh.
Wonder how long it took him to get Luke, because they said Luke was a pain, and this was worse than Luke at the end. And he's like, it always gets harder.
A bit harder than the lawyer, wouldn't she?
It's harder every time. They just don't believe like they used to. Gotta get them riled up.
That was me pretending to light a
smoking.
cigarette.
So speaking of Luke, she's introduced to Luke at the property. Luke Marshall, state lawyer, played by Peter Sarsgaard.
It's hard not to say Skarsgård, isn't
I
it?
know. I want to so bad.
SARS.
Even typing it, my
Worse than scars. SARS.
but it means
But the SARS remind us that the past is. Oh, no, that's scars.
they're gonna redo this.
Child,
movie.
I believe you broke my leg.
Skarsgård. So Gina Rollins as Violet,
Maybe.
with the what appears to be the husband, who is pretty far gone. Like, he's, you know, Ben. He's the patient here. She found an article in the ad in the paper to go help out this guy to be hospice care. John Hurt plays Ben. What's their last name? Devereaux. Yeah.
Devereaux. Yep.
Devereaux.
Violet Devereaux.
There's a story that Ben had a stroke when he was up in the attic where she found him, affecting both sides of his brain. So, well, of course it did because affecting his soul, if you will.
Stroke-like.
And then Violet kind of gives her shit saying stuff like, you know, you're not from the South, you ain't from here. And, you know, she tries to put it in her face. So I'm from New Jersey, Hoboken, New Jersey, bitch. Gives her shit about her lack of accent. They didn't say bitch. I'm just, you know, trying to play it up. But
PG-13.
It's the attitude I was reading between the lines.
Gotcha.
But it seems as though that Violet is losing her soulmate, Ben, from Caroline's perspective. And so she wants to help and stay and all this. So that's when she also gives her shit about, like, you wouldn't understand the house, don't clean shit. Luke seems to be somewhat of a sweet talker, it seems. She makes it back into town and seems to ride on empty, which I don't get. It's like, that's another one of her weaknesses, is like she doesn't really think ahead. It's like, you know, you're going into town but your gas is on. Like, if you know you're going to take a trip, will you gas up? Do you have the... She's easily going into other shops and stuff and buying stuff, so...
Oh, cheap gas too, $17. I'd kill for that right now.
Yeah.
I'd trade a soul for
Right. Trade a body. Typical woman, am I right, though? Come on,
Hey.
guys.
So attention is brought to the red dust right here when they go to the gas station, or when she goes to the gas station. It's sprinkled in front of the doorways to prevent evil spirits, which is explained later. She walks into the gas station / witch doctor / daycare / elderly home. It's like, I don't know what it's going on here, but it can all go up in smoke because it's a gas station. There's kids running around. There's some blind lady like in the back.
Wow.
That's how she was. She was very...
Well, she's holding a naked baby, you know, and there's the Creole couple who's running around. The guy... Yeah, you see all the reptile heads all over. The man stands behind her holding an oyster and a knife, speaking Creole. And then...
or French.
Well, Creole is a form of French. It's Creole.
He said parlez-vous français,
Yeah,
which is
because
French.
he can speak French, too. But he's... Yeah. So...
I mean, technically he tried 3 different languages right there.
Yes.
When
When ultimately he-
$17 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
$17, and that didn't even... She didn't even get that. She's like, 20.
And this is what I also kind of liked about this, because I felt it is paying a little bit of foreshadowing here just in the imagery alone. It kind of does a shot on like the oyster. The oysters can represent reincarnation or protection, or could imply a secret. And he uses the knife to cut it. And
Guys, oysters fans? I like oysters.
I do like oysters.
No.
No? Add a little salt. Add a little red brick dust on it, and it's good,
Red
man.
brick dust. Yes.
Little brick salt.
So yeah, it was $17. 17 in a negative context, it could indicate that you're focusing too much on material possessions or neglecting your spiritual growth and well-being.
Huh.
Bullshit.
How about
Move along. So after unpacking, she notices the Terrebonne Parish house to have no mirrors, adds to the list of oddly customs to make note of, I guess.
Plus, you know, upkeep on the house. Terrible.
There are 30 rooms in that house.
30 plus rooms.
Like, that's...
Excessive. That's excessive.
Yeah. I mean,
A little bit.
knock
And
down
then
some walls.
There's
and just-
supposed to be a key
Make
for
a
every single
ballroom.
room.
Well, I mean, they used to have slave quarters back in the day, like the reliable servants they used to keep inside and
True.
stuff like that. So
Families were bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she saw the picture, there's like a
I
whole
know,
bunch
I've
of
seen
people.
The Patriot.
And I'm assuming
Love that movie.
a lot of those people might have like maintained somewhere in the house at one point or another. I mean, they had a party where people were invited, but who knows? Oh. So she leads her way into Ben's room, give him some light, and he grabs her wrist pretty hard and releases right before Violet comes in. At this point, we don't know it's the lawyer. We think it's still just like Ben going senile or so. I think the story writing in the beginning is, it doesn't give you too much, but it gives you enough to like bleed into it. And this is what I like about certain storytelling is like, I don't necessarily want everything up front. I kind of want to feel the climate of, you know, the movie, let it kind of pull me in. It's like, I don't get too annoyed of movies that are like way too long or way too short. It's like, it did what it's supposed to do. Cool. It was.
No, I hear you. I don't like long movies. And if we're going to start doing these 3-4 hour movies all the time, Scorsese, we need intermissions. at movie theaters.
Bless you.
Need to bring intermissions back.
Like what John said earlier, Violet makes a comment about how she's prettier than she thought she was, probably all marked up with tattoos. And Caroline
Not where
says
you
something
can
along,
see.
yeah, no, where you can see.
Bitch. That means I got titty tats.
Oh, she's got,
Tram stamps.
Yep. It was on her inner thigh later on, though, wasn't it? That's
think
where it was,
so.
in her thigh.
did we see that?
Yeah, they showed it.
Did I see that?
Wow, Justin missed
must have missed
something.
something,
It was
I guess.
it probably meant something too. Whatever.
Probably
I don't
did.
remember what it
It's
was.
changed
But
the
it
whole
probably
thing.
meant
The
something.
synopsis to the movie
So
said Soylent Green is people or something like that.
she receives a key herself. She says that she has one and now she has another, the skeleton keys. The skeleton keys will open up every single door in the house.
Except the one in the attic.
Well, it does, but yeah.
Broken piece of shit in there for some
It just
reason.
didn't open the first time. And I think that also has to do with part of the plot of the movie.
But it had a piece of shit in it. That's why it didn't open the first time.
Right.
There's a piece of shit in it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
like
cauterized shit. No.
Oh.
I mean, there was like a broken key in there or something.
fossilized shit. That's what that is. So keys are symbols of knowledge and access. Skeleton keys are known to access more than one door. That's to open or close. They mean enlightenment, limitless, impossibilities, and transformation. The eyes are the doorway to the soul. That's where all the transformation is coming from. And I think my theory is that door that didn't open the first time, she used that key because she wasn't yet on that level of belief. Some
Right.
things had to happen for that doorway to kind of grant her access. So once she had that stuff, she had the access. The key finally kind of worked. Or
But
did
what
work.
about the broken key that was in it, though?
Semantics.
Pish
You
posh?
do remember that she took out like a
Pish-posh.
piece of broken key out
There
of
was
it.
something else. Yeah.
It's all just it's the perspective of the movie. Like you could look at it one of two ways. Like you could look at it like we are, and that like the house was haunted and that these people, or you could just look at it in the sense that there was nothing wrong with the house, period, and it was just people who were possessed. Like the house was just a normal house. The reason she wanted to respect the house is that they've been people in this house since the 1800s, and she's like, don't fuck with my house, it's my house.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how you want to look at it. Just everything is a coincidence.
Yeah.
Like if you look at enough stuff, like you're gonna find coincidences in everything,
You could probably trace a line to anywhere.
right?
Pretty
So
good.
around this time, this is where Caroline asked her how
Except
long
the
she's been there.
creepy formaldehyde jars of organs. Like that was
That is weird.
It's good to have a hobby.
taxidermy. You never know.
guess.
So she asked her how long that she's been there, and it seems as though like,
A while.
she sorts of make up a story. Like the way that she looks, is this all a part of her plan to act all of this out? Because I'm wondering, like, even if you're not being watched, why would you still act? Because like when Caroline is up in the attic and Violet is downstairs, why is she like seem to be acting all like, huh? Is that like from her slave days where she was more necessary to play a certain part for massa's sake, or however you want to put it? Like, did you always have to?
Massa?
I'm sorry,
That
it's
is-
just
But are they the kids though, or have they?
no. They are still Papa Justify and Mama Cecile.
And Mama Elf.
And that's they said that, but they said they could only extend their life for a little bit.
Yeah.
So how is it that if they're only extending their life for a little bit, people from the 1800s still be alive in 2005?
Well, they
Well,
would
I
have to
think
keep
that
on
was-
doing it.
Yeah, that's
in
why
one
they-
body.
they keep-
They would have to
I
keep
thought
doing
they just inherited that person.
it. No. You can still die, is what they're getting at. It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't make
Right.
you immortal. If
You
you're
can
killed
still
in that
die,
body, you're
but why
dead.
would they still be? And I get it that they are. I get it that they're still those two people. But if they're being replaced with every new body they take, wouldn't those people have been gone times ago?
Yeah, they've done this multiple times.
But
Yeah.
so they wouldn't be Justify and
No, they are.
They are.
They
Their souls.
Their essence-
Their souls.
their
are
essence
still
of
their
their first-
souls are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be. If they die, and we discussed this last week with the ghost topic that actually just came out today. Like with your soul leaving your body after death and it getting replaced with another soul, they should have been gone multiple times.
Their souls are just swapping.
Yeah, they swap
Yeah.
souls.
This is Freaky Friday.
Yeah, they're just Freaky Friday.
No.
They're just swapping
Yeah.
bodies. The soul goes with the new body.
And then you can kill either or.
Okay, you can.
My thing is, I don't know why
well,
they
we
kept him
understand
alive.
why AJ didn't like the movie. Now he didn't get it.
Oh, I got it. I got it perfectly. It's just like so. Okay,
Like
I'm
what-
gonna draw a picture.
Oh no.
Like Roger Ebert said, this is one of those movies that explains too much while it's explaining too little and leaves us with a surprise at the end that makes more sense the less we think about it. So just don't think about it.
Justice's soul goes into the young body, and the young body goes there.
He's got to draw a diaphragm.
And
Diagram?
And then when Justice is on, they go into the young... Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes more sense now that I have a picture. Got it.
See, tomorrow we're going to work on your colors.
I just had to draw it out.
Hey,
see, how many fingers?
Sometimes.
All right, never mind. So she ends up... I heard that one.
This is John over there.
Is that a fun?
That was residual. Goes from John's haunted asshole.
No, I just think your couch is old.
Blame it on the couch.
I mean, it could be me being old, but nothing came out of my body that time.
So Violet,
maybe a soul did, and now I'm somebody else. You don't know.
What if his fart goes into your body, and it's now his essence is controlling your body by farts?
That could cure a whole
Why
bunch
is that
of
not a
diseases.
movie?
Did you know that if you shove your
It's
shit,
original.
you shove your shit in someone else's shitter, that your bacteria will cure a lot of their sicknesses?
There's like the fecal transfer.
Yeah. So that might work with farts.
That's that hoodoo
sounds like
shit.
bullshit.
That's that hoodoo
That's
shit,
that
boy.
hoodoo.
Wow.
Yeah. So Violet talks about the house, such as you won't understand the house. Don't clean shit. I'm only one who knows how to do shit. I keep their picture to pay the respect to the house. It's not a common perspective Caroline is familiar with. There's a lot of things that's kind of confusing her at this point. When she goes to grab this picture of these two little kids, she sees the other picture behind it. It just falls right out. It's like, that's not secure. But again, I think that's part of the trap that they want her to see.
Oh, I think there's a lot of things that were deliberate, like her doing the curse on the floor.
Yeah.
She's like, I need you to do that curse.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't protect.
I think even
from
with
me,
the...
it protects me.
Yeah.
You know,
Even
whatever.
with like the hoodoo thing, even if having your book of receipts...
Also, that shit freaks me out.
Yeah.
I saw a room like that.
Whatever is labeled on it, I don't even know if you should trust whatever witch says.
Especially John's toy box.
Yes, that's probably one of the worst.
Especially because toy spelled with a
Push it.
Y. T-O-I.
Twist it.
I forgot about the photo falling out of the photo frame. Who was in the photo of the one that fell out?
It was
So in the
it was
photo frame,
kids in the,
there's the two kids.
the black
Behind it is the kids in Papa Justify and
Okay.
just hands on their shoulders and stuff.
That's right.
It's like, these are our next victims. We have such sights to show you.
on
Yeah,
next
can you imagine
key.
starting off as kids again, though? Oof, that'd be rough.
You can get away with a lot more. Imagine you going back, knowing what you know, into your own body or into somebody else. Have you ever been in a kid's body?
Have
that.
you?
No, but let's call Mikey.
Oh, I see. You're allowed to make Mikey jokes, but I'm not.
Yours wasn't funny.
It was too. In the scale of Mikey jokes, mine was quite tame.
That's true. Man, why didn't they pull off? Like, you'd think they would have been further along in life rather than still stuck in the same damn house.
Yeah. And then, well,
They like the
Violet tells
house.
the story that the parents died, one by a shotgun and suicide or whatever. It's like it was probably the kids who killed them. Well,
Yeah.
the kids' bodies who killed them. And I don't know exactly what extent they probably weren't kids at the time. They might have been teenagers or even adults.
or whatever. Yeah.
So, and they took over the house. So,
What happened to the family?
The bank went under. Thorpe shot his wife to death and then turned the gun on himself.
People in the bayou said it was justified to seal his revenge.
The children stayed here till 62. But they never, ever told us why that room was locked. Or why there were no mirrors in the whole house.
and then luckily, as adults, inheritance fell onto them. So it's like playing this role for so long. I mean, like, he can only be Papa Justify and Mama Susu. Like, when people were like, okay, let's put on your PJs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a grown ass man.
PJs. That's what it was. You think that
Okay,
that's what was the other one. So
You're right.
conversations before the podcast hits record.
Yes. And I'm keeping it in.
Perfect.
So the significance to the number 3 kind of comes back a few times. It's the 3 main parts of the brain, the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brain stem. More than 30 rooms. The rail cart with the 963.
It's the mocking of the Holy Trilogy.
Ha-ha! Violet says, take care of my husband, take care of his house. The next scene, Caroline got him naked for bath time. You sick fucks. He He was giving him a bath. And then she's got that Pilates, you know, like doing that core work, whatever. Woman picked up this grown-ass man. He's probably a little heavier than her. With ease, just teabags him in the... Bloop, bloop,
She's pegging the shit out of him. That's in the extended version.
You got to use that core strength, you know? But Violet talks of gardens, gone every winter, back every spring, a cycle of rebirth. Kind of a Caroline wheels Ben out in the garden, and he still has his longing look in his eye, like, I fucking want to talk, but I can't. Whatever medication is, like, what was it that they were feeding her? Or they giving her?
I don't know if they ever stated the exact
they gave the
drug they were
concoction.
giving her.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it was the actual.
Yeah, I mean, they probably said some real drug.
She said something like she crushes it up and then he drinks it and stuff. But it's like, why? He knows this. I mean, like, he can hear everything. It's like, why are you just like, you know, spit it all out?
Well, it sounds like he does
Tries.
when he has the opportunity to.
But then she beats him.
Probably.
Yeah, so she asked her about her tattoos, her family, pretty much everything she wants to know about her body and connections for assuming it as her own. She needs to open her up like an oyster to unlock her many rooms, her new vessel, to house her soul in, to plant their seed, to peer out of other bodies like looking through a keyhole. I was just tying a lot of that stuff together at the rooms. Okay, thank you. You're with me there. Yeah.
The boy tells me you don't smoke. Well, I do smoke. I smoke a lot, and I enjoy it very much. I trust that won't be an issue.
It won't.
Good. Then for the most part, just realize that I'll live here as if you're not in residence. After all, we're not kin. Are your parents still alive?
Well, my mom left when I was little. My dad raised me, and he died last year.
Oh, my. So you cared for him as well?
I would have. I just thought I had more time.
You think too much about the time you have left. You don't spend it living. Be good to my husband. Be good to his house.
So 20-minute mark, with a keyhole shot. I love keyhole shots. I think there's one of the more unique shots when it comes to cinematography itself. It's like, it means so much, like kind of how we were doing like the X's on the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Never that's going to come out.
I like the keyholes. My favorite keyhole scene is in Bad Boys 2, where he puts the gun up and it shoots that guy. That one's awesome. I need to watch that movie. That's the second week in a row I've referenced it.
See, I think we've also kind of assumed at this point that like she's making all these things, these traps. So she says, hey, go and retrieve the seeds.
Nothing more glorious in the garden. Going every winter, back every spring. You religious at all?
Try to keep an open mind.
That's good. That's very good. Where are my trilliums? Oh, fiddlesticks. Do me a blessing, child. Will you run up to the attic for me? I have some seed packets in a box right next to the stairs.
I'm assuming she purposely sent her up there so she can find something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that's when she was kind of downstairs like, oh, what's taking so long? What are you doing?
Right. It's like it's planting the proverbial seed in her head, making the environment spooky so everything starts to become a coincidence. This movie is perfectly explained by the movie Leslie Vernon. By the movie Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask, if you've ever seen that movie. It's perfectly explained by that movie how stalkers and villains set up their victims. It's perfectly explained in that movie, and this is a perfect example of that. So watch that movie instead of this one. I highly recommend it.
Thank you. So yeah, the keyholes, their meaning is of awaiting entrance or knowledge, connection to someone or something. Depending on what side of the keyhole is peering, it can represent power or helplessness. She hears a rattling in the attic behind another door and attempts to unlock the door, in which the entrance is violently slammed shut. The entrance to the attic right behind her. It's like when you see a door like moving behind you when you're going into some creepy ass space, are you going to like block the door or are you going to...
No, because I'm the one moving it, remember? I'm moving magic.
Yes, this is true. I knew that was you.
Look at our socials for that.
Next shot, we see...
I do movie magic.
She's walking out with a box of flowers, her Dixie Johns and trilliums. Another reference to the three. Trillium is derived from the Swedish word trilling, meaning triplet, referring to the plant's 3 leaves. A flower that symbolizes grace, elegance, balance, and transformation. I like that stuff. I like that.
That's a nice little sprinkle.
John's favorite scene, on the 24-minute mark, side boob, which we also see.
Actually, not my favorite scene.
No, it wasn't.
No.
You gonna rate that side boob?
I'm gonna give. Well, my joke for years has always been Kate Hudson proves you can be hot and not have tits. So, I mean,
there it is.
I'll give it a 6. Side
Nice.
boob. Yeah. My favorite scene is actually when she's in like the tan shirt and the booty shorts.
Those were really nice booty shorts.
Yes.
I wonder what brand that was. Drawstring?
What was big back in the day? The H one.
Hilfiger?
No, not Hilfiger. The
Hollister.
Hollister. That's what I was thinking.
I can smell it. I can smell Hollister.
What the fuck?
No, he's not wrong.
Or Aeropostale.
Like at the mall?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
It's
didn't
like
know
it's just when you get close to the mall, or I guess the outlet.
It's
you're
just
like, oh,
outside the mall.
It shows you the difference in worlds we lived in. Like back in the day when we went to the mall, like there was underage kids standing outside of a store with no clothes on.
Yes.
That's the generation we lived in. Now you can't it's not the same.
It's not the same.
I hate it. I can't see a boy without a shirt on anymore. What the hell?
Well,
moving on.
let's move on.
So New Orleans thunderstorm wakes her up that night and some noise. Nolans. Thank you. The noise wakes her up inside. She goes to check the scene. Ben.
I don't even know where that went.
His bed is empty.
Found it.
She goes downstairs and checks the garage, and she's like, the cars are still in there. They couldn't go to the airport.
That's a Home Alone reference.
What? Oh, sorry. It was this movie. So after a bit of searching and zeroing in on some tidbits like the old-time record player, yes, that too, she finds Ben army crawling on the roof.
Stop right there, Ben! Don't move!
Dude, he was... Get me the fuck out of here! And John Hurt, he actually wanted to be the actor to fall off. He
Yeah,
wanted
but
to do
they
his own
couldn't
stunt.
guarantee that he wouldn't get hurt.
It's like, you're gonna knock the wind out of you, man.
I do like a wet t-shirt, Kate Hudson, too.
Yeah? Do you? How
I
bad?
do.
Do you like it?
I do.
Do you like it?
I do.
So she rushes back inside for the wheelchair, finds the "ew delay" written on. It says "help me," but that was upside down. Like when you whip open a little thing, it was backwards. It's upside down. It says "ew delay," EWDLEY.
How'd they get washed?
It didn't. Remember, she threw that sheet into her closet and gave her a new sheet.
When
and then she went
the
to
other
go
one,
show Luke.
it was clean.
And it was clean.
It didn't need help anymore.
But then she found the sheet that was written on back
Later.
in Boo X's closet.
She
had swapped them at some point before she showed it to Luke.
That's why I'm asking. How did she know?
It was swapped at one point.
Okay.
The soul of one sheet.
Sorry, I thought too hard about it.
Went to the soul of the other sheet.
It's like they did hoodoo on the sheets.
Yes. So, and she's like, why the fuck does this sheet want me to save it? You got to save the sheet.
No one gave a sheet about the sheet.
You got to use bleach on it to get the, So,
It was just soil.
OxyClean would have worked too.
That too.
Soiled.
Spot out.
It was soiled.
Shout.
It was a soiled sheet.
It was soiled because it was
That's a good
soil.
joke.
I had that written in here too. So why does the blanket need help?
We've done enough movie reviews with you. We know.
I think, why did the blanket need help? I think the only reason why the blanket was like, help me, because she works in the hospital and she's the only one who knows how to make hospital corners, and Mama Cecile doesn't. So
that's the stupidest thing.
Come on, man. Let me have this.
You
one.
did this. He was ready to move on, and then we all stopped him.
You cannot be serious. From up there? He fell from up there? How? He can't even walk.
So Violet makes a comment about doubling the remedies, which, I mean, the Ben's like, oh, fuck. You know, like he's, damn it, I'm done.
Or
now.
he's happy about it. He's like, yeah,
Give me
drugs.
some more of that hard shit. So as a care provider, she's usually quick about helping those in need. Usually. But she didn't, though. The people who were beaten and broken walking the trail at the beginning, she just zipped right past them and took the
drove
turbo.
right past them.
She's like, fuck
Well, that's
those
because they had
guys.
no eyeballs.
Wow. You're
They were
supposed
creepy.
to. She is kind of rude to a lot of the people who don't have eyes. Or at least.
Well, she apologizes for her reactions, at least. She's like, holy fuck you. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's like Kevin Hart.
I have a question, but I'll wait till we get to that part.
Anyways, as she pulls out the blanket to show Luke, the lawyer, the sheet has seemed to have cleaned itself, no longer needs any help. We find that her father never told her that he was sick. Said something like that earlier. Would you say that they're playing like reverse blackface, or are they playing whiteface?
I mean, it sounds like they'd like to go back to being black. But
Yes.
It's just hard to get black back.
Or are the actors themselves playing blackface, or are they playing whiteface since they're supposed to be playing the other people?
Yeah, it could be.
This episode that gets us canceled.
You think so?
It could be a little more.
It's all justice.
If they try to
You
make
thought
this
it'd be
movie
us.
these days,
Right.
it could be a little more risque, huh?
I think so. We'll move right past this. Soon, during some alone time, she makes her way back up to the attic, and the key now unlocks. So she finally gets in there. She sees all the formaldehyde, all the
weird
things.
shit.
This was one of the weird things. And you know, when I first saw the hoodoo doll, if you will, that was kind of like X'd out and zipped up
Yeah,
lips.
that
and whatever.
stuff creeps me out.
I
Like
thought-
shrunken head shit and stuff like that.
I thought that was supposed to be an image of her. So that attic has been used either before or during her stay there. Since later we see Luke has pictures of her as
There's a lot of pictures. That's a great camera, by the way.
It was. I'm like, that was like
It
those are
literally,
candid
like,
shots.
Yeah, it's like right in front of her.
I have an irrational fear of getting my lips tied shut.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah, like,
so does she. Apparently, she had a
It's
dream about
way
it.
too high on my list of things that might happen to me.
Huh?
John too.
Huh? Why are you
No.
telling the
I just
world
think
your
it's-
fear now?
I know, right?
Shit.
So yeah, that hoodoo doll I think kind of resembles her. Papa Justify's receipt book is also up there. A picture with a larger gathering of those kids and relatives of the community members. Again, that's where I was kind of putting the pieces together. Like it's a house of 30 rooms. Maybe much of those people lived there at one point. And then we also see the 3-headed snake ring in there, which we see with the ruby eyes. The record ritual is found on a record from August 24th, 1920. I have nothing to go with that. Violet offers to make sweet tea, calling for
It's just also
Caroline.
when it came out too. Not the year.
August
but the
24th?
date.
Yeah.
Yeah, the day.
Violet offers to make the sweet tea for Caroline, suspecting she's somewhere she shouldn't be. And that's kind of what I was saying.
Well,
like,
internationally,
same thing.
probably coincidence.
No, it was made for it. So yeah, that was this is but the cliche I hate the most when it comes to these movies. I've said this before, but it's the fucking flashlight thing. Light cast so far away. And if you're looking at the doorway, you can see Mama Cecile or Violet's shadow going through the doors, but you have the fucking flashlight shining around. She knows you're in there. This
This clearly bothers you.
I can't stand the whole like flash. When you're trying to sneak into places you know you're not supposed to be, a
Yeah.
flashlight is the last thing you should take.
That's 100%
Light
true.
will expose you.
It's true.
But not only that, but when she got in there, the flashlight was still on. She just had it down. And then the moment that door shut, when Mama Cecile Violet left, she picked it up and like banged on like the desk that was in front. It's like you still have the light on and you're making noise now. She's on the other side of that door.
Yeah,
What
and
the
she
fuck, you
dropped
know?
the tongue thing and it like shattered. And
Yeah, that was before, though.
right. Oh. No, I mean it was when she was coming up the stairs.
Yes. I mean, I wonder. And if the house leaks, all that formaldehyde is going through the floor and shit.
Well, she knows how to clean. She can clean.
She's the only one.
She's
to
the
know.
only
Yeah.
one that can clean.
It's like formaldehyde, like glass jars are breaking in my hoodoo room. And so back at the house, she sneaks into Ben's room to check on him, notices another missing piece, maybe a mirror or framed pic from off the wall, then leaves the room. And Violet from her closed room says good night, in which Caroline says good night and gets a spur up her butt to go back up to the hoodoo room. Do you have a hoodoo room in your room, in our house? In your guys' house? Do you have a hoodoo room in your house?
I don't.
I feel like your basement is like a hoodoo room.
Not a hoodoo room, but I have a summoning room.
All right. Same thing, right?
No, because hoodoo's not for white people.
But it is.
But it's not.
Yeah.
You could culturally appropriate it.
They did.
I could, but I'm not gonna.
If a black person takes your body, then it is, right?
They can have it.
It's like then you're going to be slanging. Hey.
Slang
So
that dude.
she starts to remove her flip-flops to go up to the attic. And I was like, hell yeah. It's like maybe if you don't believe in the hoodoo, you at least believe in the power of the chancla. But like, that wasn't something. So bitch put the mirror back, in which caused Violet to get violent on some violets. They were probably roses, but it doesn't sound as cool if I say violet. Never mind. So
I got it.
she
I'm
dropped her
with
potted flowers and probably had to mop it for hours.
you. Word.
Does that work? Okay, thank you. And she's like, no mirrors. No mirrors. The way that she says mirrors.
I told you about the mirrors.
I don't understand.
This is not your house.
I found them. I needed a mirror for my bathroom, and so
I told you and you heard me. No mirrors.
The accent. Did you guys like the accents?
Did I
felt like they were different.
No mirrors.
I don't know. I think Sarsgaard's was
fucking brutal.
No, I loved every second of it. Yeah, because it was cliche, though.
Oh,
it's not a good one, but I just enjoyed it.
Why don't you come down here to the swamp?
He was trying to channel.
It was that
It wasn't
bad.
Colonel Sanders.
I'm just a lawyer, and I'm here to fill out the will.
Well, I thought we allowed a black one, but they don't always say.
They don't always
Wow,
say.
what is his name?
I feel like I'm doing the guy from Pet Cemetery mixed with the guy from fucking The Skeleton Key.
What is his name?
I hate that everything you look up in the Skeleton Key has that cool eye photo as
But
like
it's
the
not the cover?
poster, but it's not the actual cover. That's way cooler. Anyway, that was very distracting.
So Caroline demands that she,
Looking at
what's going on
pictures.
because she's seen the room. They get all dressed up and go outside with him not being sedated, Ben sitting around in the back as she tells the 90-year-old story. The attic was room of Papa Justify and Mama Cecile's. We find out it's the hoodoo room. It's the attic, which that was where they located when they were in their time. They hit a straight lick with the crooked stick. Yeah, the party happened. This is in the memory scene. I think the memory scene was probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
Yeah. Some drunk chick wanted to say goodbye to the kids. She was like, no, fuck you, Desmond. I'm going to say ta-ta to the children or whatever. But the kids were...
Fuck you, Jasmine.
They were nowhere to be found. They tracked the music to the attic where Papa Justify and Mama Cecile were spazzing out with the kids. The kids were in the little protection circle playing tic-tac-toe on the floor. Supposedly the kids claimed it was their fault that they wanted to learn the hoodoo. That was kind of like Papa Cecile and Mama Justify. That was their excuse to kind of like save themselves. Like we wanted to learn what they were doing and lynched. So they get to watch their own bodies get burned. The kids saw the whole thing, or at least they saw the whole thing from their kids' eyes of their bodies. But yeah, I mean, that was fucking, again, that was probably one of the more emotionally charged scenes in the whole movie. No.
Okay.
It's just kids.
Oh.
Right. I have some. So red dust we find is supposed to be ward off the evil spirits. Violet claims she sprinkled it around the house and also claims that you can see them in the mirrors, Papa Justify and Mama Cecile. Caroline later finds where the red dust is at in the little shed out back. I thought that she was clever with the red dust. I thought putting it under the rug, and it's like, what is the sensation that you feel?
That would nullify it though.
I don't know. It's still there, wouldn't it?
But it's covered though. Like you're not.
Does it have to? Well, it's covered from the top and the bottom. It still has that little out edge, right? If it's,
I don't think that matters.
Yeah.
I really don't think putting a rug on it matters.
Well, for first off, it's dust
in the wind.
It has nothing to do with any properties of anything, so that's wrong. But two,
that you know of,
you're telling.
I do know.
Don't culturally appropriate.
Yeah.
I am. God damn it! I'm taking that.
You're trying to say other people's cultures are wrong?
Yes. Oh. When it comes to dust,
okay.
But for a substance like that, it's the barrier that you're making. So putting something over the barrier is breaking the barrier. So,
but only on the up plane.
But is that how he got into the little shop? Because it was around the edge of the shop, and he's like, "You first," and then all of a sudden he's in the building with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming he had like some sort of water or whatever that.
Or he just went.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Or when she walked across it, like her wind blew it.
Yeah.
What shop? The gas
Well, they
shop?
went into the gas station
when she went back.
shop, yeah.
In
Well,
the back of the gas station shop.
I mean, they put the red dust down,
darling, or whatever he's.
Yeah, to stop people that.
It's like Mama raised a gentleman, and
yeah, but they're trying to stop people that are seeking harm against them.
Right.
He wasn't seeking harm against the people of the gas owner stop, so why would it stop him?
I would assume that it might be. Well, you make a point there, but even if. I mean, it was raining too. When they left, they were there for a long time, but this was just a simple conversation. It was day and dry. And then once they left, it was night and raining.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, how long was that? Did you guys listen to the whole record?
I will say when she put the red dust down and it stops Mama,
right?
Or it appears to stop Mama, I think that was her downfall. That was when she believed.
Yeah,
that's
when they
her.
both knew that both of them knew.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that kind
boom, that's, you believe in this now.
So maybe it was just a plot device the whole time. It was just a story that they used to get her to believe.
Right. Maybe.
It was everything all together. So it was, yeah.
It doesn't really work, but in her head it did.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you a little bit with the something on, because if they put red dust down in a doorway, what if they go upstairs? Can they cross whatever's downstairs? How close do you have to be to it?
It seemed like you had to be right next to it.
Well, there's so much.
They're like, fuck, I can't get into this room and there's nothing.
There's so much gray area in this situation. It's like, is it getting into
the less you think about it?
Is it getting into the house that's doing it? Is it just like, can they not go past that line at all? Like, are they stuck? Like, that's your new hemisphere. Like,
well,
you
it's
can
like how
only
he-
live to the right of that.
Towards the
now.
end, you had to use the elevator to get out of the circle of red dust. That
Right,
was
and
all-
the
then-
power was out, but the elevator still
the
worked.
elevator still works when the power's out. That's weird.
Was a hand crank one.
I think I'm kind of on the right track. It was just a gimmick.
Yeah.
For them
could
to
be.
help her believe.
Yeah, it's all psychosomatic.
All of it is, I think.
Yeah.
It's
And I
like,
thought that at the end too, when she's like, "Oh, that circle's not to keep me out. That's to keep you in."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Just get out, bitch. It's not real."
Right.
and she did get out after she got smacked with a mirror.
Yeah.
She was laying out.
You guys are and that's the thing with this movie. It's like there was no ghosts in this movie at all. This movie was purely about the power of
There
suggestion.
kind of was, though.
Well, ghost in the sense of possession, but
Yeah.
it's more about the power of suggestion
Right.
mixed with the power of like kidnapping. I would take this as like a kidnapping film over.
There is some kidnapping.
Kind of. Because in this
I
next
did
scene,
see a kidnapping.
when she's giving Ben a splish splash in the tub, she seems to drop the water or whatever. And
She drops the soap and she
Yeah.
goes and gets another bar of soap. I was hoping for some.
well, she grabs a
Oh,
pocket
man.
mirror, and we don't see anything in the mirror, but we see the shadow behind. I'm like, is that the ghost? Like, what is a shadow?
Yeah.
We see a few shadow play every time we see the mirrors.
That's,
And with the lightning too. When
I think
she's about to do the ritual.
Yeah.
It like
It's
makes
up for
an image.
debate. It's up for debate.
And he's all spazzing out, freaking out. It's like, calm down, old man. I'm here. I'm not gonna. Yeah. He dropped a grumpy in the tub.
she goes in to grab the soap and she's like, "That's not soap or cake. What is
at
this?"
all. What the fuck? What
So,
did
yeah.
you eat?
She
We're not
goes-
even feeding you.
It smells like baby food.
Oh no.
No, she goes back into the laundromat, tries to wash some dirt away for Ben. She interrupts someone else's session where Mama Cynthia is talking about non-beaten potion.
Miss Cleo.
Yes. And I'm sure you all are pretty familiar with the actual beating potion.
My lotion?
Yeah. Lotion is regular beaten potion. She's trying to get some non-beaten potion.
Astroglide?
Oh
No. Okay,
Dude,
yeah, but
that's
sure.
too far, man.
So-
So you gotta do that.
It's water based.
Oh. Well, that's fair.
That's what you put down to get rid of the red dust.
Yeah.
There it goes. So there's no chalk on the bark, it's just slide, slippity slide,
He won't beat you again.
Mama Cynthia, he beat me last night.
When you use the potion that I'm going to fix for you, and it won't happen again. I promise you that.
I'm scared.
Don't be afraid.
Are you sure that I can do it?
I know it will. It will work. Just do as I say. Don't be afraid. It'll work. It won't happen again. Ever. Don't worry about it. It won't hit you again. Just use this potion that I mixed up. I have a lot of things in here. And you use it as I told you.
Okay, I'll trust you, my baby.
So Caroline explains
Jesus.
her situation to Mama Cynthia. Mama Cynthia goes humming her way down the aisle, pulling all this random bullshit off shelves, tricking her into buying it all.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's
basically.
kind of into it too.
Yeah, got this white girl.
Yeah, she's like, I know you gonna buy this.
Oh, sugar, you need this.
This gonna fix all
$50
your needs.
You need this $600 crystal. This'll fix your chakras.
Can't buy gas bullshit. You can buy all this, whatever. So Jill tries to talk some sense into her again, but her weakness again is that she cares too much. She's like, I need to go. It's like, no, you need to get the fuck out.
You went in there. You actually went in. Are you out of your mind?
Come on, haven't you ever heard of psychosomatic treatment?
Yeah, but this is not that.
How much of a patient's recovery depends on his believing he can?
What recovery? This is hospice. You're supposed to help this guy die.
He believes in this stuff.
So what? Who's he to you? No, you forget it. He's not your dad. Not this one, the last one, the one before. Why did you get so attached?
She returns to try to uncross Ben as Violet is seemingly asleep. She didn't finish the words, but it still untangled something in Ben. Maybe the thunder or maybe the undoing work of Violet's, I guess. Or, yeah. Violet kind of enters. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Ben tries to tell her in his atrophied voice that the threat is, pointing to Violet trying to barge into the room. Violet dismisses Caroline for the night, locking the door to Ben's room behind her. It's like, you're hiring her to take care of him, but then she's like dismissing you. It's like, no, I got this. It's like, well, what the fuck are you going to need me here for? It's like, a lot of these signs are saying, get the fuck out. She's already told you that other people have quit or they can't keep people.
It's still her husband, quote unquote. So there's going to be times where she has to take care of her husband. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Sorry.
Do you need a lot?
That's why they locked the door.
True. Oh. Oh. Kind of said something like that. It's like when our daughters hear noises in our bedroom, my wife and I are like, oh. And that's just like us watching like Jim Fell videos together at laying in bed.
That's you trying to get out of bed.
That too.
The funniest thing our kids ever said
old.
to us when they caught me and the wife doing the squisha.
Chaka.
The chaka. That was it. I was trying to remember.
Squisha.
I don't know what fucking you're doing in there.
But the kids were real young, like 3 or 4, and they're like, "Mommy, does your tummy hurt?"
Yeah.
Well, in 30 seconds, if you leave us alone.
Kids.
No, Daddy just put the medicine on it. Anyways. Caroline wakes from her nightmare, sort of confirming that hoodoo doll in the attic is modeled after herself. She looks in the pocket mirror, seeing what looks to be Mama Cecile, but maybe she sees Violet leaving, but looks to be Mama Cecile. It's like when in the doorway, whatever, you see somebody with like a, I thought it looked like the black chick, Mama Cecile.
Mm-hmm.
But
agreed.
I thought so.
It's unconfirmed at this point, but it's a good guess, I think.
Facts.
She still sees her dad in Ben, which makes her not want to abandon him, even though this is the hospice care. It's supposed to help him die, as Jill said. She goes to Luke, the lawyer, for help, photographs, and all of this. She goes to him to try to help find some grounding for herself, but humors her by contacting the last girl who quit, whose mother encouraged her to quit. I said this all wrong. Anyway, she goes to the other place. The dude's like, hey, I want to know the last person who worked for her. And then she's like, yeah, we can just take you over there. Goes over there. That chick's like, nope, get the fuck out. Whatever. My mama said, nope.
Mama said.
Yeah. They stop back at the gas station and talk to the brick dust. Or they don't talk to the brick dust. Talk to the lady with the brick dust. We see Luke not crossing it, saying mama didn't, raised a gentleman, so he didn't cross. Luke says, get the proof, and she returns mid-ritual. It seems like the 2 chickens that might have been playing earlier are stripped down on the stove. Violet is gathering hair clippings from Ben, and she whips out a recipe book that just so happens to have wicked hoodoo spells in it. The recipe book. Receipt book. Never mind. Smart move on Caroline's part, spreading the brick dust onto the, this is probably one of my favorite scenes. Well, after she kind of knows, she's like, come take a look at this. There's a leak in the ceiling. You could probably, see it better from this side. And
that formaldehyde's coming through the roof.
Yes. But
I broke something and it's leaking like a leaking right down into the
smells
bedroom,
real
and
bad.
it is terrible.
I feel like she would have.
You said you know how to clean this, so
I don't know nothing. I just take care of old men. That's it. Legally,
that is a sound clip.
So there's this condescending back and forth, pretty much showing each other their hand. They both now know about each other, but we don't necessarily know what extent, or they don't know what extent each other knows about each other.
They don't know. We know.
Exactly. So Caroline later that, she's like, come have some food, whatever. I made this nice meal for you. It's like, all right, yeah. Caroline administers some sort of agent on the sugar cubes, most likely to incapacitate her. Violet doesn't take the bait at this point. All their moves are so obvious. This scene I thought was just like, when they're at the dinner table, I was like, they're kind of going back and forth. Eat your gumbo. No, have some sugar. No, try the gumbo. No, you always have sugar in your tea. Would you eat the fucking gumbo?
Yeah.
It's like
game of chicken.
It's obvious, man. So upon grabbing the candlesticks, Caroline is like, fuck it, I'll pour the rest of the bottle in their tea, causing Violet to perform a wicked pop shove it into her armrest face plant. Did you like that part?
That was all right.
She's like, ugh. It cracks her head on the armrest. Nothing, though. She's all good.
That's right. Yeah. She did bounce back.
Caroline scours.
She's a tough old bird.
She scours the house, find some particular items, the spell casting under Ben's bed, finally gets the record and Ben's soiled blanket because it's soiled. Soiled. Yes. Or maybe she really is helping the blanket. I don't know, because the blanket says help me. You have to help the blanket.
Right.
She cares so much about blankets too.
Did you guys ever see the movie My Little Toaster? Or Toast
Brave Little
Toaster.
That's a sad ass movie.
Yeah, there's a blanket in that.
This is true. I like that shouldn't be a kid's movie. I don't think.
There's a lot of movies.
Well, we had to help the blanket, so it's coming full circle.
She tries to barge through the locked gate that Violet somehow had time to lock whilst fixing some supper
with her bug.
Yes, with her.
The only car that couldn't break through the fence.
It's like beep beep.
That was a solid made fence. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it bent there for a second.
And I just felt bad for
Ben.
Yeah,
he's
got no seatbelt on, no way to stop himself from ramming into the
You can see the actor when they're
drugged up.
When they're going forward towards the camera, we see the actor grabbing the old shit handle.
Oh, did he?
And then on the next shot, it's down. It's like, man, who knows?
Yeah, he would have got fucked up.
Violet wakes from her downer, grabs her broomstick, and heads out into the rain. Sorry, her boomstick. Ben and Caroline are pretty much around there. Caroline stashes a whole ass man in the shed and tries to escape by boat. Ends up rowing to a place where it's not raining. Convenient. It's like it was just downpouring, and then like, it's not raining here.
It's old fisherman's trick. Go where it's not raining.
So she makes it to Luke's place. My initial reaction with Luke was kind of, I didn't really trust him when because he was a sweet talker. He was a lawyer. He like knew the right words. It's like, maybe I automatically don't always trust lawyers. I don't know.
Yes, you don't.
Well, he easily dismissed anything that she said to him too, like the whole movie. He's like, oh no,
he always had an
just
excuse.
What it is.
Yeah.
We're Southern bitches.
Yeah. So he has a smooth tongue.
Good old farm boys.
Once she saw his beginner law practice in a 3-headed snake ring, she pieces much of it together. He said he was Protestant and didn't believe in hoodoo. Yeah, fucking right, Luke. You got a desk full of chicken bones and a skeleton key. So
yeah, why did you just keep bones in your desk?
I think they're the raccoon penis bones.
You think so? Mm-hmm. What is significant about raccoon penises?
They make better chimes.
Do you know raccoons are like one of the only species that do not evolve? Like if you go back thousands of years and look at other species, they were something else, but raccoons, however long or old they are, they pretty much stayed the same.
What about crocodiles?
They evolve. They used to be dinosaurs.
So
Godzilla.
So did they de-evolve?
Did they de-evolve? Yeah.
Yes.
They got smaller?
Well, man started making their environment smaller.
Yes. And they're making them pets and stuff.
Less carbon in the air.
Yeah. It's like how house cats became a thing.
Yes. So while they're in Luke's place, Luke kind of sneaks up behind her, gives her a little hug on her neck while playing a drum number. Well, he falls into the drums. And yeah, she wakes into his car, gagged.
Best version of Wipeout I've ever heard.
They were heading back
to the... He fucking strangles her to death. I was like, what is he talking about? Oh, the part where he strangles the shit out of her.
Yeah, it was a cuddle struggle. That's all.
I guess.
It says every rapist ever.
They were so comfortable, she fell asleep.
So they go back to the Terrebonne Parish. The gates are fine. They're not bent at all. The
gates are fine?
The gates.
Oh, gates. I really
The gates are fine too.
Gates are fine.
There are no gates
fine too.
attacked here.
You hear that, AJ? You're fine.
Woo!
It's like it's not even
You're
bent.
welcome.
Like, I don't know, maybe a car went through it or tried to. Oh. So Terrebonne.
A bug nonetheless. It's not really a fiberglass car. That's a solid made.
And they got the old school bumpers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that too.
I was mad at her because, like, no, why the fuck would you ram it with your front? Like, you're gonna fuck up your car. Why are you doing it from the front? And then I'm like, oh, it's a bug. The motor's in the back. Hit it away, bitch. Hit it away.
Proceed.
Smart. Until the motor comes forward.
Cuts you in half.
No, just
Ben, where's your waist?
Ben, I didn't think this through.
She's like, my job is done.
He's fucked.
So Terra,
I'm so fired.
Out of Terrebonne Parish. Terra means earth, also represents the earth goddess and symbolizes fertility, abundance, and new beginnings. A force that represents the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Earth, bone, parish, Terrebonne. Fun fact. Luke and Violet are in tandem. Don't scratch her up more than she already is. All these comments from before we were kind of talking about, like, you got tattoos, you're marked up, you're all this, like, you don't smoke, and I love to smoke, and that was one of the things that kind of like sinks the last line there, or one of the last things, the reveal, I guess, at the end. So yeah, it's all suggesting that she wants to use her body. Maybe not in the same manner that John wants to, but
facts.
Yeah.
Don't scratch her up any more than she already is.
Caroline gives away Ben's position, and Violet goes to check it out, almost gets Benjamin scissor-handed. And meanwhile, Caroline knows the brick dust that's marked down on her doorway. So, and it's like, why did you... They have like this little bump and thing, like she wants to go to she wants to go to her room to get the picture, and he's like, I'll get it. And then as he's going, he just bumps her, or she bumps him, and then goes in.
I got you. You're it.
You're right there. And he's like banging on the door. She breaks out the window and
okay.
climbs through.
Here's a part that really bothered me.
She knew where the glass was.
No, okay. She's got her hands behind her back. Yeah, tied. Who the fuck doesn't flip it around to the front first, then break out the window? Because it'd be easy just to sit on the floor, flip your arms around, then jump out the window.
So I don't know how
that flexible.
I don't know how she got out the window.
She was that flexible. She's doing Pilates
yes, I'm not.
and shit. So that part bothered the shit out of me, that she didn't flip it around, then escape. Because then she made it all so much more difficult, jumping out with her hands behind her back, then got to cut them. And
that doesn't make sense. And if I recall, wasn't it higher than what it... Like, she can't just step out. How did she get out? Did she step out?
She's on the first floor.
It was on the first floor, yeah.
Even first floor houses are kind of a drop sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, they had the porch.
Not in Ireland.
The wraparound porch, so that it wouldn't have been too high.
Even still, she's going to get a cunt nick or something. I don't know.
You know,
I mean,
she would
have been cut up for sure. Yeah.
Speaking of the brave little toaster, Toaster's name is Toaster.
Yes.
Blanky's name is Blanky. Lampy's name is Lampy. Why is the vacuum named Kirby?
Because the brand.
I was gonna say, wasn't there a Kirby brand?
I don't
vacuum
know.
Back in the day.
It bugs me.
Wasn't he named Sucky?
You mentioned that, and I don't know why I thought about that. But that was like 10 minutes ago, and I'm still festering on it.
Well, that's when the twist in this movie comes into play, and brave little Toaster comes flying through the door to save the day.
Don't fuck with Kate Hudson.
True.
So,
Toaster.
This part I did like, though. After she got out, and he comes out back, and he sees her, and she does this little fake out. And I was like, nice, okay. Now we're cooking with fire, whatever. That I liked. What are the chances that would work?
0.
It's wet out.
Yeah.
It's slippery.
And he goes back into the house to try to go out the front to catch her, and she's already out the back. Caroline tries to dust out the door and entrance with her bottomless Harry Potter jar of dirt. That was a lot of fucking dirt, and it was the smallest bar. Like, it was just a basic mason jar.
Maybe she was Jewish, like the candle. Just kept going. 40 days.
8 crazy nights of...
Huh. How did Violet get up the stairs so fast? That I don't get. It's like, we have an elevator.
She has a broken leg.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. She has the elevator and she has the stairs. But when Caroline goes up the stairs, Violet opens the door. And I mean, like, it could be like those old time slave entries, like, you know, backdoor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was never.
Waiter.
I know. It could have been that too.
I assume she knew some secret passage.
Yeah.
Was my assumption at that point.
That's my brain patched that with that kind of logic as well.
It's just,
for these.
It doesn't explain anything, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe that's why she didn't want her cleaning, because she didn't want her to find these secret passageways.
Possibly. Oh, that kind of makes sense too.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Let's go.
Then again, she was always snooping. When she was encouraging her to snoop, go up
in
to the attic.
certain spots.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. It's the blurry shots due to the dusting she got from Violet. Like, when she opens the door, she's like, I'll get you, my pretty. And then blows the dust.
Yeah.
And then there was like these blurry shots. I didn't really care for those. I didn't think it matched. I know it's trying to go from her perspective, but it's like you're seeing her doing it.
Yeah, it wasn't needed.
Caroline is trapped in the attic and needs to cast a protection spell with chalk.
Who makes...
Sulfur, blood, and hair?
First off, even if your eyes aren't fucked up, you're not going to make that perfect of circles. Like that,
I don't think you need to be perfect.
That irritated me. Those circles were immaculate.
Do they have to be?
No, but they were.
He's just saying it bothered him that
it bothered me that they were so good.
And she was just
like, ah.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Not twice in a row.
This time you did.
You guys are mad about the dirt. I'm mad about the circles.
Fair enough.
The spell she casts is seen to be a deception. It doesn't protect her from her harm, but protects her from leaving, which was say they probably could have just swapped the titles on whatever spells they were. There was one for conjuring and the other one for protecting. It could have been vice versa, or it could have been just not.
Or just been a setup.
You didn't read the detail? You didn't read the fine print?
Yeah.
The terms and services or terms of services? Whatever. Now they get her scared and believing in the magic of hoodoo, and now the transfer can take place. Mama Cecile and her many forms are revealed in the mirror. The little girl, Grace Thorpe, Violet de Veroux, and her original form. So it seems as though there's only 2 other transfers. It's like they made a comment of like it gets harder each time.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the second time. Now a third for her.
Assuming they showed us all, I guess.
Why was she so concerned with her body if she knows it was going to get smacked up with a mirror? Like the mirror gets thrown at her. What are the chances that mirror breaks, slits her new body's throat, and now she's stuck in a dying body?
Yeah, and the mirror thing wasn't needed because, I mean, they didn't have mirrors in the first time they took the kid's body. So the mirror was, I don't know why.
See it. I think it was already transferred at that time.
True. But I mean, I guess the throwing of a mirror at them wasn't needed. So I guess that was just for
on little kids.
We can try that at Mikey's party tomorrow.
I guess that was just for us, the
Do they
audience,
have kids?
to be like, oh shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that was more.
Damn.
Ceremonial.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think it was like.
But I hear you. That's a good point. Yeah. What if it just slit her throat as it?
It only takes one. Transmigrating into stupid hoodoo, whatever. So she immediately goes for a cigarette. And she did say that she loves to smoke. So I kind of like, I liked that they returned to that. That was one of the first lines. It's like, I love to smoke when she was.
And boy, is she going to get that smoke high again. Ooh. First time smoking in that body.
Those lungs,
yeah, fresh lungs. Oh yeah.
Doesn't it suck taking a body when you have to like uphold their job? It's like if you take over a lawyer's body and now it's like, fuck, now I got to learn how to practice. It's like, would you just like take over like a gamer's body or?
No, I take over a lawyer's body.
So would you guys, if your guys were switching bodies, would you always go with the same sex, or would you be like, well, let's switch it up? I want to be a woman this time.
Is it gay?
I would always be a woman.
Depends.
Well, you could be a lesbian.
Depends on.
No, like I said, I would do segments on OnlyFans. Will it fit every Tuesday? Just
yes, it fit.
Yes, it fit.
Depends.
I don't know. That's a good question, I guess.
I think if I was around for like 200 years or whatever,
what
we're
do I
assuming.
have to do if I'm the other
I think I
gender?
would probably switch at one point.
At least once.
Just to try it.
Be like,
is life easier?
Just
is
to
it
try.
hard?
Does your back hurt that much?
No. Do I actually have a headache? No.
Women hate us right now.
Because it doesn't. I mean,
to win.
you mentioned the like. Oh, well, then would you have to be gay? Well, it doesn't seem like they're
I didn't say
ever.
that. You did.
Someone did. It doesn't seem like they're ever taking significant others on, because it's
Well,
probably too
they're
risky.
each other's significant others. So I mean, I guess
Oh, that's true. So if they both switch, and so they're just
it's like it's not weird if it's your penis.
Yeah, if you're married to the person, if your souls
I mean,
are
they
married.
would still. Yeah, it would. That would be weird.
Now you get to be on top.
This is fun.
Now you get to fall
It'd be-
asleep.
yeah.
Excited! That sounded like a soundbite, but that was actually you.
Yeah, twin flames will go through a lot of things together. It doesn't matter
And a lot of people.
the physical form. So they could both be goats.
It's like, what if I bang you with his dick?
Would you just do like homeless people?
Did I just hear you say you switch bodies with a goat?
Wait, what?
That took me a
I heard
second.
that
was
too,
like,
and-
wait a minute. They could both be goats.
Well, you
What
can't.
about a centaur?
You're done.
Top half or bottom half?
Yeah, because once you're in the goat,
Do
then
one of
you're
each.
screwed.
Yeah.
How are you going to get out of the goat?
Goat magic.
That'd be a bad decision. Medicine for gold.
Medicine for gold.
Jill and the first responders show up. Luke, a.k.a. Papa Justified, tells Jill that they loved her.
That's gonna be my new Xbox name.
Papa
Big Papa
Justified.
Justified.
Mine,
Is that available?
Mine has been, and it still is Areola Grande.
Ariana Grande. I like that. So, yeah, they said that they loved her. They must have loved her because they left her the house in the will. And an ambulance, and Caroline, now in Violet's body, shares a frightened glance with Ben. They both seem to know what happened. It's like, that is kind of a sad... It's like, when you see the image of Violet, being like this bitch the entire time, but now you know it's Caroline. It's like,
Yeah.
and you're just looking at the old lawyer. It's like, fuck. We're old.
Yeah, not only are you old, but goddamn, your legs are fucked up.
You can't walk. It's like, and the thing is she was the one who did that. She's the one who broke her own legs and then got herself put in her own body or her body.
I mean, obviously she didn't plan on going to be in that body.
This is true. So the house has brick and sand everywhere still. And so how do they clean their house now? Since they're in new bodies.
Ooh, I guess they'd have to hire someone.
I guess.
Hey,
what was your question?
The house now has brick sand all over.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
well, wait. Once again, this comes back to
what it's
the
just
whole.
a
It's only. Well, it could be a gimmick.
Well, they still,
or it could be you can't cross it when you're trying to hurt the person that you're trying to cross in to get into. So
in the moment, if somebody wants to hurt you or whatever, they're the ones who put it down, and they are the ones who wanted to hurt them.
Or you just call it cleaners.
Can you just? Say,
I think they can walk over it. So, like, I think like
I know
if Caroline wasn't in the room or in the house when she had put that red dust in front of her door, I think they could.
Don't make excuses for them.
Went to and from the bedroom.
Yeah, that I don't know. Because it worked before, why would it just like unless they just suggest that they no longer want to kill them anymore? It's like, I can't wait, I want, so whatever.
I don't know.
Then it no longer has its power.
It said stops people that want to do you harm, so they're not going to do themselves harm, so they can go over it at this point.
They're going to do each other.
Beat those bodies up.
Yes.
They're gonna try all sorts.
They're going to work them in.
That's
real
true.
Quick.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
So yeah, the
Kirby was based on a vacuum from the 60s, by the way. The Kirby Dual Sanitron.
Perfect.
I forgot I looked that up.
Perfect.
The main theme of the movie is
bugging me.
manipulation and deception under the weakness of Caroline's desire to care and her curiosity. I think the patience and time it takes to garden, made apparent by Violet, was important. While she is literally gardening, she is just as literally planting many seeds of wonder, fear, and doubt into the mind of Caroline. Hoodoo only works if you believe in it. A form of persuasion and mind control causes Caroline to question her own sanity at times. She literally gave her the key to unlock her own belief. So yeah, that's all I got. I don't know. I would change a few of those shots.
Hey guys, what would you change? Let me segue into that.
Oh, okay, I'll let you.
So,
I would change.
Justin, what would you change about
only a
this
few
movie?
of those things? A fucking flashlight. Get rid of it.
I mean, I would change all these questions that we have. I would answer them. You could answer these probably in a 90-second monologue at the end kind of thing. I kind of want to know what happens after they take them to the hospital. Like I said, are they like, hey, we're 30-year-olds? And they're like, no, you're crazy. Let's put you in the psych ward kind of thing.
But horror movies that have MacGuffins like that at the end rarely ever are received well.
That's true. This one didn't get received well either. But
I would also change one shot. I would change one shot from being from a door to the sink.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Just reverse it.
Oh. I know what scene you're talking about.
That's all.
Side boob scene.
We get it. You're a side boob,
yeah,
dude.
for me, it was the lawyer being part of it. Too cliche for me. I don't know what I would have had him do instead to make it trickier, but that's not up to me. I don't write stories like this. And then the taped hands behind the back, not putting them in the front of her. That really bothered me.
Lonnie. AJ. Whatever you're going by this week.
Yeah, whatever I am this week. I think I actually, and this is no joke, I think I would have recast Kate Hudson. I think she didn't play scared very well. So the parts where you were supposed to feel emotion from her, I don't think she portrayed it very well. You couldn't feel.
I've always been attracted to her. I don't think she's the best actress.
Yeah, I mean she played
things
her.
I hate about you. She's supposed to be an annoying person, and that works. But
I mean, she played the role well for what it was. But if you wanted to feel something from her, it just wasn't there.
Oh, I want to feel something from her.
But
I mean, maybe that was on purpose, though. The whole
shebang.
Oh, this white girl don't get scared. That's why she's sticking around.
It's true. Everybody else is scared.
But yeah, no, I didn't like it.
Midwest. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
It is not not
my thing. It was fine for what it was, but like I said when I first talked about it, it was every movie in the mid 2000s.
When I analyze it, I mean, I feel like the sense is made, but if I just watch it for entertainment, I think it has maybe a 1 or 2 rewatchability. But after analyzing it, it's
yeah, this is something I don't watch all the time, but Every couple of years, I'll throw it on around this time of year.
This would have been great is like a Netflix show. Like this would have been amazing.
It could have been a great show.
This would have been amazing as like a Black Mirror or like an episode of Haunted. Like this would have been amazing. I think it went on too long. I think there was far too much explanation, which killed the flow of things.
I think they explain too much that it doesn't explain anything.
Kind of like Hubert was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him wholeheartedly right there. Like,
I want to punch him in the face.
Well, that sounds personal, but
isn't he dead?
I think so.
Well, that'd be.
He just had a very punchable face. I didn't like his face. I didn't like his fucking face.
Your fucking face.
Do you have a favorite, least favorite?
I did.
All right.
Yeah, I got one.
I get mine is 1 out of 10 stars, and it's voodoo hoodoo. Who cares?
Well, that was mine.
That was yours too.
Actually, there's another one below that. No, it's a couple below that one where it calls her Kate Burton instead of Kate Hudson. Is that the one you're reading?
No, it's
not. Okay. Other than that, that one didn't even give it a 1. You know, you can only give it 1, 2, 3. You know, Brian doesn't do halves. Neither does IMDb, and so he put it half star.
I think I see that one too.
He calls it Kate Burton, but then says Hudson down in the bottom, so I don't know what that one was. But yeah, voodoo, who cares?
Voodoo, who cares? The first sentence is, it's just me or horror movies getting worse. Films that are supposed to scare you are now just putting you to sleep. I never felt bored watching this film. There was nothing about this film that made me go, ugh, I can't believe I'm still watching this. There was just nothing that hooked me about it.
I think it's a solid movie.
Right. A beautiful movie.
You didn't finish his last sentence in that review.
No, I just read the first
sentence.
Because
the only redeeming thing about this is that you get nice shots of Louisiana before Katrina hit.
Oh. So shouldn't that move his star up?
I guess. I don't know.
That's his 1 star. Yeah. Huh. No, there was no part of this movie where I was like, oh, I gotta turn it off. But there was never any part of this movie where I was on the edge of my seat or like, wow, this is a revolutionary. No, there was never. It was just there.
Yeah, for me, there was just a few clever decisions made by Kate's character. Sorry, Caroline. Her character. I was like, oh, okay. I did not think that you were going to do that.
That person also gave Baby Mama with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler a 9 star. So that's something to think about. Gave District 9 a 10, though. He's all over the place.
Demancy.
Yeah.
There was a one I had by Killa42. His is yuck. To imagine is good, but this movie sucks in so many ways, adding questions to questions and giving no answers. No answers until the end, where the final answer makes the movie suck even more than it did to begin with. He makes voodoo sound like Santa and Santa seem evil. I hope that Aaron Kruger gets hit with a very large brick for writing such a bad story.
Wow.
Maybe then he will be able to write things that deserve to be called a movie. I just hope that Kate Hudson gets a role worth her chest. I mean talent. To summarize what I'm saying about this movie, I need 2 words. Predictable and yuck. For the most part, I mean, I get the predictability part, but I mean, I think it was a solid story. I think it kind of, it wraps everything up. Well, most everything up. There's a few things left untied, but I think you're supposed to fill in those blanks. It's not I don't know. It was shot decent. The location, I think, really fills the part. I think getting the, that New Orleans like feel, it's like, yeah, that's, I don't know. It just doesn't seem, it seems foreign, I guess. I like that. It's different. This guy, he also gave other things like...
He gave Purple Rain 5 out of 10.
I know, I saw that. Avatar, he gave a 1.
No Country for Old Men, a 1. Like
that was an awesome. The Greek, a 2.
Black Mirror, he gave a 1.
This guy doesn't like the writer because
he gave The Wiz a 5 out of 10.
I saw that.
That was an amazing
District
movie.
9, he gave a 10.
Robot Holocaust, he gave a 1. You fuck.
Bible Man. Yeah, this guy gives a lot of 1s.
He didn't even give
Fool's Gold. He just hates Kate Hudson. That movie's not good.
He gave The Haunting in Connecticut a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
You fuck.
The Heartbreak Kid got a 2.
Broken. What's his highest rated movie?
21 got a 2.
Well,
District 9. He gave Knocked Up a 2.
That was an amazing movie. That's a classic,
Yeah. This guy sucks.
So do we know what we're going to do for the next movie review?
No, I asked you and you decided to record.
So we either have one of 2 options.
He gave Hollywoodland a 2?
He gave Miss 45 10 out of 10.
Jeez.
Yeah, that and District 9 where it was only 10s on.
I think we'll keep it a secret as far as like the next movie review. We're gonna decide something. We don't know. I mean, Jeremy should be back next.
Yes,
He's not
I don't
confident,
know.
so we might.
If Jeremy's not back, it'll be Brian's pick.
This is true.
I have 2 movies picked out.
We're gonna
Should
watch
we just
both.
have him pick a movie and then Jeremy can watch that one too? And then if we have 5, we have 5.
We might need some equipment.
Yeah, we could share a mic.
Possibly.
I don't know. It's up to you guys. I
We
don't
could
really
try.
care.
We haven't tried a fiber. I guess we've always had limited equipment. I mean, I guess we have over phone, which has been a headache, but yeah.
I don't care.
We'll figure it out on our own time. We won't waste any more of these.
Well, we could also cut this out.
This is true. I don't know how to cut any of this out. Apparently,
No, we tell you to cut things out and it stays it.
apparently I don't. I'm like, it sounds good. Keep it in. But
Just say if you want him to cut it out. He knows what those look like.
that is true.
Anyway, this was 2005's The Skeleton Key.
Starring Kate Hudson's side boob.
All right.
Yeah, we gave it a what? 7?
Seven.
Is that over?
7.
Nice.
Oh, too late.
So,
Count.
7.
all right, guys. We'll see you next time. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
If you haven't called your mother today,
Say hi to your mother.
don't. She's disappointed in you.
Happy
Bye.
Halloween.
Thanksgiving ish.
Right now it's Halloween and
It is
okay,
true.
happy fucking orange leaf time of year.
Happy Dia de los Muertos and All Saints Day. It's around then.
Happy Gatorade.
I'm going to cut this.
Gatorade.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This concludes our broadcast day. Click.